bridge T2 Buckeye FCF. We're going to check a few things, just do a circuit around and come back. Going to check out a few new systems I integrated. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. I got I got a real FCF checklist here. So pre-flight, we are not here yet. So let's go ahead and go to reference the normal checklist. So eject selector aft, gust lock disengaged, battery on, check for 22 volts. We got 24, that's good. Battery back off. Oxygen off. All right, pre-start, power control levers or PCLs off, idle cutoff, fuel transfer off, external lights master on, hydraulic override, hydraulic boost on norm, AC power, inverter 1, generators off, 1, 2 off, IFF TACAN off, that's not modeled so we're not worried about it, ram air emergency is off, cockpit pressure switch is off, windshield and engine anti-ices are off, anti-collision lights are on, battery on, ICS check, not worried about ICS, fire caution lights check, fire check, number 1 compressor, number 1 burner fires, number 2 compressor fire, number 2 burner fire, those lights work, warning lights all come on, gear light comes on, emergency selector comes on, hook is currently not modeled, wheels warning light comes on. Alright, so let's look at doing an engine start. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything on the pre-flight. Those I can't do until the engine's running, so we'll come back to the FCF document. ICS hot mic, that's not modeled. Engine master on, so I'm going to go ahead and turn engine 1 master on, and I'm going to go ahead and start it. Press and hold for 5 seconds. When I get about 10% RPM, I'm going to jump the power control lever, the PCL, to idle. Now I'm in idle. Wait for the temperature to jump, and that'll let me know I've lit off. Engine lit off. Really high temperature spike. Forgot to put the chocks in. Alright. Number 2 master switch on. Number 2 engine start. Hold for 5 seconds. RPM's coming up. At 10%, I'm going to jump it out of idle cutoff. Alright, we got light off. Switch isn't working yet, so I'm going to go ahead and just turn off close the canopy with a switch. Alright, canopy lights out. Generators 1 and 2 can now come on. Alright, and that is what we have for engine start. Let me go back to the pre-flight. Trim operation, control surface. Tail hook is not modeled. Flap operation check. Half, full, half, retract. Speed brake indicator is in, let's extend them. It's in transition. Out. Transition. In. Let's check the trim. So I got 2 in indicators letting me know it's neutral, so let's give it some roll trim. Alright, light went out. On, off. Okay, good. Back to neutral. Rudder trim. Good. Alright, let's go back to this document here. Pre-taxi. Pressure, temperature, norm. Temperature on. Alright, comm nav off. Trim check, just did that. Fuel quantity check. Good, so that ran to 0, so the gauge is working. Let's check the left wing quantity. So in the center we got about 2,500 pounds. Left wing we got 600. Right wing we got 600. Inverter check. So this light will flicker when I jump from inverter 1 and 2. There we go. So that works. Back to inverter 1. Compass aligned and slaved. Controls. We already did our control check. Pins out and stowed. That's right. Idle stops, check. Okay, let me go ahead and double check this real quick for pre-taxi. So, engine temperatures. Ours are hovering around 5. They recommend 650. It's probably a simulation error. RPM should be around 50%. I'm hovering 60 and some change. I'll have to look into that. Oil pressure, fuel flow, and hydraulic pressure are currently not modeled until I get those operational. All external lights, we're not going to check those since it's a simulator and they work. Alright, brakes, basic instrument check, altimeter settings. Alright, cool. Let me make sure I'm done with the pre-taxi here. Okay, great. So, go ahead and check the brakes. Alright, let's roll. Both brakes. Roll, left brake. Roll, right brake. Alright, excellent. That works. Alright, for takeoff, not worried about any of those. I'll worry about it once I get in the air. Landing gear, maximum retraction time should be about 10 seconds. Let's go back to our before takeoff pre-flight. See, brakes, ICS, pitot heat on, windshield anti-ice on, TACAN IFF not modeled, placard checklist complete. Don't have that stuck in here actually. Cockpit pressure check. Don't have any means to check that right now. PT5s, we're not modeled. Anti-collision, strobe. Flight controls, wipe out. And I can't see those controls, but it's a simulator, they're gonna work. All warning caution lights out, and we are ready for takeoff. Okay, let's run them up. The runway stripes are missing because of a recent update. Still got to fix that. Positive rate of climb. Get the gear up. Get the flaps up. That's right. Yeah, altimeter 29902. That's already good. So a decent positive rate of climb. Let's get up to about 1,000 feet. We'll come back around and we'll land. Have a turn coordinator, so I'm going to have to kind of guesstimate it here. Just took off out of MacDill in Tampa, Florida. Speed is 0, that's good. Actually, you can hold the darn thing. Alright. Roll the wings level. Go on our downwind here, and then we're going to come back around. We're going to skip the remainder of the FCF. In the very near future, I'm going to have a Garmin 650 showing up, which I'm probably going to plug in right here. Really looking forward to that. Temps looking good. RPMs are a little high for what they're supposed to be, but again, that's probably a simulator-ism I got to fix. Back off the gas here, and I'm going to get ready to go on to my base leg. Unfortunately, I do not have real good peripheral vision, so I have to kind of guesstimate my turn radius here for the airport. brakes are out, so that's going to slow us down a bit. Dropping below 200 knots here. I'm having a real hard time judging distance here, so let's see what I just turned into. Oh, I got to go a fair bit further, actually. So I'm going to do a long base leg here. A very short final, probably only about 2 miles. Back off the gas. Let's go ahead and drop the gear. Go ahead and give me half flaps and full flaps. AOE indexer came on, so that's good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do my turn into final. Again, I have to kind of guesstimate it here since I have no peripheral vision. Okay, this is going to be a very long swinging final. Getting a little slow there. Terrible. There we go. We're on final. A bit high. So we have no runway stripes, so I got to work with that. I'll just go for that giant splotch there where all the other aircraft touch down at McDill. Yeah, not a real good final. A little slow. Gonna land a little long. Unfortunately misjudged that a bit. Still quite a bit slow. Go ahead and let that go. I'm going to aero brake a little bit here. I'm going to ride the mains. Speed brakes out. Still going to aero brake a little bit. Alright, now we're dropping below 80 knots and nose is coming down. I'm going to go ahead and start pressing on the brakes. Make this taxiway. Alright. The differential brake steering is definitely a little bit different to get used to. And we're just going to pull off in this taxiway and shut it down. Let's go ahead and shut it down here. So I'm going to bring it to a stop. I'm going to kind of blow through the FCF here. Not too concerned about... Alright. Shut down PCLs. They're at idle. Oh, let me actually... Sorry, I got to do one more thing. I got to do after landing. Flaps up, speed brakes in. Flaps are up, speed brakes are coming in now. PCLs, idle stop, disengage, strobe, anti-collision, anti-ice off. IFF TACAN off, landing light retract, it was never out. Trim in 0. Alright, trim is in. And shut down. Alright, so. Generators off. PCLs off. Engine masters off. Lights off. And last but not least, battery off. For leaving, oxygen is off. Gas lock engaged. Seat canopy pins, not going to put those in. Eject selector aft. Okay. That was it. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Obviously, it's not the most authentic thing yet, but we're still working on it, and as more features come alive, we'll do hopefully in the near future, a proper FCF with running it through all its procedures and checks.